What's up guys, Graylan Stewart here with another video. If you've never seen any of my videos before, this whole channel is about wholesaling real estate and how I do it virtually. And also we do fix and flips, and we also have buy and holds for that long-term wealth. Okay, so today's video, I'm going to talk about how to reach motivated sellers. But not only that, how timing is everything whenever you're trying to reach motivated sellers. So timing is key. And the reason I say that is because, you know, whenever you're wholesaling real estate, obviously consistency is everything in this business. So if you've got to be reaching out to these sellers all day, every day. You got to be calling them, texting them, emailing them, whatever it takes. And kind of our policy, just to give you an idea of when we're reaching sellers, especially like on the first call, like they came into our CRM system. So the first time we try to reach out to them, it's like a 3-call minimum back to back. If they don't answer the first time, as soon as you hang up, you're calling them again, okay? And the reason we do it 3 times in a row mostly is because we typically deal with older people. So when these people are calling in, or when they call in and we miss the call, or if it came in from Facebook, whatever it is, they're in our CRM, and when we have to call them back, we have to call them multiple times because they're older people. So a lot of times, their phone might ring 4 or 5 times and it goes to voicemail or just stops ringing. A lot of times it's because they can't get to the phone in time. The older people don't hold on to their phones all day long like we do, because we use our phones for everything, whether we're, searching Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is, or doing business from our phone, that kind of thing. So the older generation is completely opposite of that. Most of them do have cell phones these days. Even my 93-year-old grandmother had a cell phone, but at the same time, it's not attached to their hip like it is, for the average person out there. So that's why our policy is to call them 3 times in a row. We typically will get an answer on the 2nd or 3rd try. But if we don't stop there. Some of my acquisitions, they want to say, okay, they'll put in the notes, I called 3 times in a row, I'll try again tomorrow. No, that's not good enough, especially if it's a hot lead. Like if it's a pay-per-click lead, when that lead's costing us several $100s in most cases, or if it's a Facebook lead, we want to get a hold of those people, ASAP, like right now, because they're physically on the computer right then. If you just got the form fill and it came back into your system, that means they're on the computer right there, and they're actively pursuing a cash buyer for their property. So that's our opportunity right there when they're on the computer. Trying 3 times and hanging up and saying I'm going to call tomorrow, you might lose them, because that could be part of the reason they're not answering too. They might be on the other line calling another investor because they didn't get a hold of us yet. So right after we call 3 times in a row, and it's literally back to back, ring, 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 they don't answer, hang up, redial, ring, 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 don't answer, hang up, redial. So we do that 3 times in a row. If they don't answer, we send a text right away. Say, hey, this is Graylan with whoever. We got your form fill. We noticed that you inquired about a property you're looking to sell at 123 Main Street. Whatever the case is, you're sending them a text right away. Say, hey, I tried to call you a couple times, wasn't able to reach you. Are you available by text? Because they could be at work as well. So, try to get a hold of them, whatever it takes. So we call 3 times in a row, we text, and then we also send an email, because usually these forms that they fill out, it requires an email to be filled. So that's 5 touches pretty much within 5 minutes right away. But then the reason I'm saying timing is everything, because you never know what's going on in a seller's life. Like they might have came into your system today, and for whatever reason, they got busy or distracted, or life goes on, and whatever distress situation that they're currently feeling and going through, that's what they're going through, and that's kind of their main priority, is trying to get through that situation. In the meantime, they're also thinking in the back of their mind, well, I need to sell my house, I need to, move grandma to a nursing home. I need to do all these different things. So their mind is all over the place. That's why I say timing is everything, because yeah, sure, you may not get them on those 5 touches initially, but try every day. I mean, literally, we try every single day, several times a day, until we reach these people, because we do that 5 touches within the first 5 minutes. We might try again 2 or 3 hours later, because you never know. Now they might be near their phone, or they might be available at the time, or whatever the situation is. Also, they could just be completely distracted with their life, and it's kind of already out of their mind after they filled it out, and they may not even have you in mind at all. So we got to keep following up forever and ever and ever until they basically sell us the house, or tell us that they've already sold it, or tell us that they're not interested. But we don't even accept not interested as a valid reason, because if they came into our system, they actively pursued us, in most of the cases. So therefore they are interested. Maybe it's not right for now. Maybe it's the bad timing for now. So that's what I'm saying is, a good example is one property that we were working on real hard for several months. This was a couple years ago. I mean, we worked it for several months, did our thing, constantly following up every few days to a week, consistently for months, probably 7 or 8 months, literally. So we were super warming these people up, right? We did everything it took, because keep in mind, it typically takes about 10 to 12 follow-ups before you ever get a deal. That's kind of the industry average, not just, in wholesaling, but that's just the industry sales average. It takes 10 to 12 touches before you actually can get somewhere with someone. So follow-up is key, which I've done a video on that, which we can link in the description. But this video, I'm just saying timing is key, because you never know what's on someone's mind. You always have to be top of mind. Your company has to be top of mind when they're ready to go. So in that example I was telling you about a second ago, we follow up with this seller for months, probably 6, 7, 8 months, somewhere in that time period. It was a while. So we probably had 30 or 40 touches at this time, because we're following up all the time like a boss, right? But we finally stopped. Our acquisition said, okay, I've tried a bunch of times, they're unresponsive, whatever. That was kind of their reasoning. So they closed it out on our system. It doesn't delete from our system, but it just closes it and puts it in a different queue, because we have different queues to where they're interested or we're nurturing their thing. So this was a nurture. We were nurturing this seller, and they finally just gave up on it because they nurtured it for so long, and they just kind of said, hey, forget it. I'm trying to clean up, my leads, and I just moved on. So basically they closed it out, saying because they were unresponsive and that kind of thing. Anyways, about a week later, a buddy of mine from out of town knew that I wholesaled in this area, and they were like, hey, we got this property, we don't have any buyers there. Can you help me dispo it? I was like, sure, no problem. Give me the address. So he gave me the address. I looked up that property in our system, and we actually had that lead in our system. And it was this lead I'm telling you about that we probably followed up like 40 times on this lead, and ended up losing the deal to this other investor. And they got him on the first try, because I called him back. I was like, hey, how did you get this seller? It looks like we worked this lead to the bone, and tried everything we could. He was like, yeah, we called him first try and agreed to a price, and we got the deal done. I'm like, wow, that's awesome, because we warmed it up for you, so you're welcome. But also at the same time, I was like, man, that was our opportunity that we lost, that we should have ultimately got if we'd have just kept at it. Keep doing it, because timing is key. The timing wasn't right for her all those 6 or 7 or 8 months before, but he caught her at the right time in the right place. He met them where they were at that time to where they were ready to go. And he got the deal. Sure, we still ended up making money on it because we disposed the property, but at the same time, that should have been our deal. We lost a $15,000 assignment fee because he ended up locking it up exactly where we needed to be, because we already kind of prepped the customer on where we needed to be. And ultimately, they got the deal and we didn't. Luckily, we did get the dispo, but man, it would have been better if we could have got the whole property, right? But nevertheless, timing is key on these sellers. So if you're working on sellers, you need a lot of them, obviously. You need to fill your pipeline, follow up with these leads all day, every day, and don't ever let a lead go untouched more than a handful of days, because you or your company, or however you're presenting yourself to these sellers, If you're not top of mind to them at all times, they're going to go somewhere else. And that's why I would say probably 99% of deals come in follow-up. You're hardly ever going to get a deal the first try, first call. It happens very rarely. So follow-up, is really important to do that all the time, but it's the timing. That's why follow-up is so key, because timing, you just never know. So try different times of the day. If you've always tried at 8 in the morning, try at noon, or try at 5, or try at 8 at night. Try different time periods throughout the day, and try different methods. If you've called every single time, maybe try texting a couple times. If you've texted every single time, maybe try calling. Or if you do have their email address, send them an email. You just never know how somebody's going to respond to you, and what time period, and what time of day, and what time of year, and all those different things come into play. You just never know. So that's why it's important to always be top of mind, because if your company's top of mind, you're more likely to get the deal. If you're not, you might be warming it up for the next investor or the next wholesaler coming along to get that deal easier. So, that stuff happens all the time in sales. So anyway, that's my 2 cents for the day. Timing is key when you're trying to get a hold of these sellers. Just stick with it, stay at it, and you will succeed. And that's really the key to this whole business, is consistency. If you're consistent, there's no way to fail. And the only way you fail is to quit. Okay? So hopefully this was beneficial to you. I hope it was a good video for you. Hope you learned something. Drop me a comment if you have any other ideas of videos that you want me to make. A lot of the videos I'm making these days are just kind of just what I'm thinking of, or what I've thought of in the past, and also what other people have kind of asked me to do. So if you've got any suggestions, let me know, and I'd be glad to do that for you. And also any questions, just drop me a comment. I'll be glad to answer that too. I do answer all those personally. So hit me up and follow me on social media if you want to. But please like this video if you stuck it out this long. Definitely like it and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. And we will see you in future videos. Thanks a lot.